Hi, Alafia. It's Star Gift Ragasha. Got another video in for you guys. I would have done one earlier, and I'm so sorry I couldn't get back to you from yesterday, but I was able to do something for today. I wanted to talk about the dream that I had last night. Yes, I dreamt again, and I am still continuing my 40 days and 40 nights masturbation fast, even though today was extremely challenging. Very, very challenging. I definitely was at peak heat today, and I might experience another peak heat, but I pretty much spent a lot of the day sleeping and resting with an elevated temperature due to my ovulation or either the ending of my ovulation. So I was fantasizing a lot, and I wanted to. Thought crossed my mind a lot to just be like, man, fuck this 40-day fast and just go about my way. But I want to get into the dream. So I can say that for the first time since I began this fast, I had a very, very vivid dream. Like, I can remember it. I retained it the entire day and finally logged it into my dream journal. So it started with, it started very violently. Um, and this is from last night. I dreamt twice. Yes, twice. Because I slept last night and I took a nap during the day today. So the dream from last night began with a person within the household, male and older, who grabbed for me and began sucking my breasts. And this is going to get very sexual and pretty violent, so you have to forgive me on this, but I'm very honest. So he was sucking my breasts and he was, very disgusting to me. And I cried and I kicked him away and I ran away. And he pursued me. Now, I think that this is a projection of my very ferocious sexuality, and probably it's being really angry at me for doing what I'm doing. So, as I'm running and I continue to run and dodge amongst the crowd, I figured that I lost my pursuer. Well, out comes a young black male, um, and I think the projection had taken this form, and he came after me, grabbed me. He meant to beat me and rape me in front of the crowd. And so he pushed me down, and I screamed, and he was just climbing on top of me, hitting me. And the rest of the crowd responded, and they saw us, and so they came to my rescue. They pulled him off of me and they grabbed me. I had my shirt and everything ripped apart. I felt violated, and like he was screaming obscenities, yelling at me, still trying to launch at me. But there were two other people that were holding him down, and two people were with me that were having me walk away. So I was walking away in tears and everything. So the dream continued, and when I go into different segments of a dream, I call them scenes. So it shifted to a different scene where I appeared in front of a house, and the house looked very familiar to me. And upon further inspection, I realized that this is the house, the last residence of my maternal great grandmother, Lucille. And I knew that the house had been bought and sold, and that it was pretty much being occupied. But when I looked closer, I guess it wasn't occupied anymore, and actually it was being renovated. And the way that the house is styled, the garage is like the first thing really foremost in front of the house, and then there's the rest of the house in the back. I'm very bad with directions and descriptions, but they turned the garage into a master bedroom. You could see the windows were brand new, it was very empty, but it seemed like everything was being set. So I go inside the house and I started feeling this really strange, powerful presence. The entire house just lit up and it was illuminating like natural sunlight. And I had this scent and this smell that was going, and I started walking as if I was heading to the master bedroom. And there was a very tall porcelain black doll, um, in the form of a child. She had an afro and it was being pulled back, and she had a beautiful white dress on. And there were more dolls, and now all these dolls look antique. And even the furniture was very like antique-ish, not modern, not brand new. And there was just something very old. Now I found my body laying on the bed in the master bedroom, and I hear this, it started beginning to elevate and rise. And I hear this voice saying, Raquel, Raquel, Raquel. And this, I saw this board appeared, and it's like as if an invisible artist was sketching a scene or something. And it, there was an old woman that was in the middle of the sketch, and it looked like there was like a garden all around her, or plants around her. So she was in a room of plants. And as the image began to manifest, so did the presence within the room started manifesting even stronger. And she seems, Raquel, Raquel, and I know she's calling to me. She's looking at me, and I realize that, oh my gosh, she has me confused for my mom. I'm like, and I say, Grandma, Grandma Lucille, Grandma, no, it's not me. It's not Raquel. It's me, Tarkis. I'm her daughter. And she was just like, Tarkis. And so then my body just like elevated more, and I started curling back. My back was just curling as if I was being abducted. And I started getting scared. Like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? I'm like, is this a dream or a nightmare? I can't distinguish the two. And so I started calling. I'm like, Grandma Lucille, Grandma, Grandma, wake me up, wake me up. I was telling her to wake me up. And it worked, and she did wake me up. Or maybe I just woke up, and it was really hard to come out of my dream. It was really hard for me to wake up. And so when I did wake up, by instinct, I look over, and I'm awake right now. I'm looking because I have this ability. I don't even know if it's an ability or whatever, but over the years, I have a theory that, I can see these little tiny beings that we humans would probably think of as fairies, but I think of them as they're like nightmares. So they're like a form of fairies. And they do these really weird things to attach themselves to you, and to trigger your subconscious, and to bend and fold it to make you think, or I don't know, project whatever images they need to project on you. So I turn over instinctively to think to see a nightmare, and the shape that was above me was almost like purple sparkling goo. Like it was goo, like a blob, and it was purple and sparkling. And as soon as I saw it, it started to fade away. So I've never seen anything like this, not in that form or shape. And my theory is that this is different. Either this is like a soul, or maybe this is my senses aren't elevated or sharp enough yet to determine or to shape the form of the nightmare, if it is a nightmare. I don't know. I'm gonna probably like draw it out so I can remember what it looked like, but I definitely have the description on point. Now I want to quickly shift into the dream I had when I took a nap, and I got a minute to go through this. So oftentimes in my dreams, I dream of freeways, and these freeways take me to different places. Well, as I was navigating through the freeway, I wound up at an Asian cuisine, and I was going to place my order, and I met the cashier, and she looked very familiar. She was very young, skinny, black woman. She had yellow blonde hair, mohawked, but it was in a ponytail. And we talked and chit chat. We really clicked it off, and she laughed, and then it just hit me, and I was like, Delea? And she was just like shocked, and I was like, oh my gosh, is that you? And Delea PV is this woman that I used to go to high school with. I knew her back in school. And I was just really shocked to see her, and she changed so much, but I still recognized her. We hugged, and we hugged as if friends would hug that haven't seen each other in a very long time.